Well, this week we're going to do something a little different than usual. I've been trying to get into blacksmithing for a long time now. I've been working on it for a while. I built a little shop in my yard, and I ordered myself an anvil off Princess Auto. The most recent thing we did was we constructed a forge. There's a lot of debate online about what's better, gas or coal. You know, I guess coal is more traditional. But since I'm from Cape Breton, coal was an obvious choice for me because the island of Cape Breton was literally built by pick and shovel. I know that most of the people who come and watch my channel are actually from the US, so they don't know the story of Cape Breton and coal, and I'm going to try to explain it a little bit. Basically, Cape Breton at one point in time was like booming. You know, we had massive coal industry. It's hard to picture how huge it was. But over time, unfortunately, for various reasons, they shut down each and every one of the mines. You know, we were completely deindustrialized, which is a story I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with. It's very sad. But years later, we had a little bit of hope. See, there was a company called Cameron Coal, and they purchased one of the mines in Donkin, and they wanted to reopen it. And they even got it up and running and producing coal, which was like, you know, it was pretty amazing. Until it wasn't, of course. I guess due to unfavorable mining conditions, they eventually decided to shut that mine down as well. So once again, Cape Breton, a place that was, you know, built by pick and shovel, like I said, is once again without its coal industry. With the future of coal being in dispute and, you know, the last of the Cape Breton mines finally closing, that the coal that I'm right now holding in my hands could be some of the last coal that's ever mined here in Cape Breton. This coal is historic. If I'm going to be burning historic coal, it seems only appropriate that I find some historic steel to forge with, and I know just the place to go get some. We decide to take the side-by-side and we travel on what they refer to as the Coal Town Trail. It's an old rail line that was primarily used to transport coal from the mines into the wash plant and beyond. They removed the rails years ago, but I still remember the trains running when I was a kid. It's hard to go anywhere this corner of Cape Breton without tripping over some remnant of what once was the Cape Breton coal industry. In fact, the place we're going today is an old mine site that was once referred to as No. 26. It also happens to be the site of one of the worst mining disasters in Cape Breton history. A few years before I was born, there was an explosion in the pit, and it resulted in the deaths of 12 men. You would be hard-pressed to find a local family that wasn't affected in some way by this tragedy. This monument, located at the Miners Museum in Glace Bay, was erected to honor the men who died in that accident. After that accident, they shut down the mine. Over time, they cleaned up the mine site. It's like it was erased, like it never even happened. But if you know where to look, you can still find some evidence. A lot of what was on the surface simply got pushed over the bank into the ocean. It's not exactly something you could get away with these days, but it was a different time. The shore is littered with broken concrete and steel and lots of refuse from the mine. Every year, more and more of it gets washed out to sea, probably never to be seen again. I would imagine one day, maybe another 40 or so years from now, it's all going to be washed away, and there won't be a trace of it left. And that's actually kind of sad to me. I like coming here. You can feel the history. And I actually find this place very beautiful in its own way. When I take on projects, I like to put my whole heart into them. I like for my work to have meaning, even if the meaning is only sentimental in nature. A lot of people would look at this rusty, decaying steel and dismiss it as garbage. But to me, this steel and the story behind how it got here is worth more than gold. It may as well be imbued with some sort of magic property. This is the steel I'm going to use for my projects. I'm going to forge historic steel using historic coal.
On a winter's morn in '79, when the snow lay still without, 'twas 4 o'clock on the 26 wall, while the 16 moved about. An explosion ripped and it rocked the pit, and smoke from the bottom began to spit. And the silence left would now admit there are 10 men gone. 10 men gone, no time to cry or bid farewell, but the mind of Gillespie long will dwell on her 10 men gone. And into the depths in the frozen dawn a clergyman was led. There in a fright his eyes were drawn to the sight of the burned and dead. With courage bold he did unfold the grace of God in the tunnels cold. And then the town was sadly told of her 10 men gone. 10 men gone, no time to cry or bid farewell, but the mind of Gillespie long will dwell on her 10 men gone. And in the days that were to come, great thousands mourned as one. For the mourners and the mourned, what could be done was done. Poor Ward and Young were laid to rest, Andrews, Cook, their memories blessed, and every man will long be missed of the 10 men gone. 10 men gone, no time to cry or bid farewell, but the mind of Gillespie long will dwell on her 10 men gone. And far from home the survivors waged brave battles for their lives. Hope from the many sources pledged brought comfort to their wives. But ere the churches hushed their hymns in sad and solemn requiems, the news from Halifax was grim. There are 12 men gone. 12 men gone, no time to cry or bid farewell, but the mind of Gillespie long will dwell on her 12 men gone. Oh, the collier's life is a cruel life, as the times so lately tell. Peace to those who've gone before, to the rest grow strong and well. God be with you, everyone, the miner and the miner's son, the wives and babies yet to come, and the 12 men gone. 12 men gone, no time to cry or bid farewell, but the mind of Gillespie long will dwell on her 12 men gone.
I reached out to a local business to see if they'd be interested in purchasing a few of the bottle openers that I forged. I explained to them the meaning behind what I was doing, and they were very enthusiastic about it. This business, the Sandbar, has a very special place in my heart. I used to work here years ago, bouncing and bartending. It was a very different place back then. It was a lot more rougher than it is now. Also, my family has been coming here for a few generations now. This is the place my grandfather came to drink when he was still alive. He was an old miner himself. He spent a good portion of his life struggling to breathe. He suffered from silicosis. It was a direct result from the time he spent working in the pit. When I was just a little boy, he promised me that one day he was going to take me here, and that we were going to sit down and drink draft together, and that I had to hold up 2 fingers and say to the bartender, 2 draft down here. He found it hilarious when I would say that, but we never actually got to have a beer together. So Buck, this round's for you, bud. 2 draft down here. Thank you. Well, thanks everybody for watching the video. I know it was a little different than my usual content, so let me know how you felt about it in the comments. Whether you liked it or didn't like it, don't go holding back on me now. Also, there's a lot of mining history here in Cape Breton, and I would love to do more videos about it, so let me know how you feel about that. And I would like to do some more forging videos in the future also, but they won't be how-to videos because I'm only a beginner. I was thinking of doing them in more of an ASMR style, so I would love to hear everybody's thoughts on that. But as always, if you like this content and you want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe.